We have almost completed the trousers. In this lesson, we show how to add belt loops to the waistband of the trouser. In the 2D window, we have the belt loop pattern. There are already markings on the waistband and the leg patterns, so we know where we need to stitch the belt loops. Firstly, we need to create the other belt loops. Based on the technical drawing, there are 7 belt loops in total. We want the belt loops to be symmetrical, as it's easier to stitch the belt loops to the leg patterns. There is only one belt loop that is not symmetrical. It is the one stitched closest to the center front to secure the waistband extension. Back to V-Stitcher, we need to create 3 belt loop copies. This belt loop will be the one closest to the center front. For the 3 copies we have made, we need to create X symmetry for the other side. We organize the new pattern pieces and ensure that they are positioned near the edge that we want to stitch them to. To make it easier to identify the patterns, we change the colors of the patterns. We make those that need to be stitched to the left waistband one color, and the one stitched to the right waistband another color. The next step is to arrange the patterns into the back low waist cluster, together with the waistband patterns. Here we need to pay extra attention. When we added the waistband patterns into the cluster, we had this as the left waistband, and this as the right waistband. At the bottom, we see 2 different belt loop groups. These patterns should be stitched to the right waistband. We marquee select these 4 pieces and drag and position them with the right waistband. Since the other 3 patterns are symmetrical, they are automatically added into the low waist cluster. We create a new cluster with a wrap type waistband belt. We multi-select the belt loop patterns and drag them into the new cluster. Now we adjust the positions of the belt loops in the 3D window to be as close as possible to the edges they will be stitched to. Next, adjust the 3D layers so that they are simulated above the waistband and the leg patterns. The highest layer we have for the leg pattern is layer 6, so we change all of the belt loop patterns to be on a layer 7 or higher. We need to stitch the belt loops to the waistband. The waistband patterns are not symmetrical, so we must stitch both sides. Next, we stitch the bottom of the belt loop to the internal lines on the leg patterns. In the 3D window, we ensure that the stitches are done correctly. Before dressing, we remove the belt loop patterns and lock the waistband in place. To do so, select all belt loop patterns and uncheck Use in 3D. Then go to the Styling tool and lock the waistband patterns. We select the belt loop patterns and enable Use in 3D. Update 3D to simulate the belt loops. Finish the simulation, and we're done! Save your file before moving on to the next lesson.